Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are on the gorgeous beach right here at the ocean, right here in the central part next to the boardwalk. We are going to share with you what Myrtle Beach is like in April. It's a little different each month of the year. We're going to talk about crowds. We're going to talk about what's open. We are going to talk about all of the events and the weather and give you some tips for your family vacation here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything in the Myrtle Beach area. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. It is a beautiful day today. It is so gorgeous. It's warm. I've got a sleeveless shirt and shorts on. It is perfect weather. I couldn't have picked a better day if I'd asked for it. We've been having some wonderful weather lately, so that is an amazing part of living here for sure. So let's talk about April. First of all, let's talk about the weather. We do have a detailed weather video for the spring. I will link that in the description below in our weather playlist. That covers all of the literal numbers. So if you want to know historical averages for temperatures, for water temperatures, all of that, you can watch that video. I'm going to talk in generalities here. In April, it's really a shoulder month here, so it's not freezing usually, but it's not really hot usually either. It's just in between. The weather can vary a lot. You could have days in the 80s, you could have days in the 50s, you could have really chilly lows, usually not below freezing or anything like that. But what I would recommend for packing is bring shorts, bring short sleeve shirts, and bring long sleeve shirts and long pants and a jacket. You don't need like a heavy winter coat or anything. You may not even use the jacket or the long pants, but I would just bring those things with you just to be safe. And of course, if you're only coming for a weekend, just check the weather and see what it's going to be like. If you want to check a local weather station, I would recommend WMBF or WPDE. Either one of those will give you weather info for your immediate trip that's coming in. They both have weather apps you can put on your phone if you want to. So next, let's talk about what's open. So I wanted to mention that we always talk about Family Kingdom as one of the few places that closes for the off season. It's an amusement park on it's on Ocean Boulevard and Kings Highway. It's on both sides. Family Kingdom is reopening March 22nd, just in time for spring break, basically. And if you watched our video about March, I mentioned that. I said most things try to open before spring break. And sure enough, spring break's a little early this year because Easter is in March. And so the last week of March, I expect will be busy here. And the first week of April, those will be the 2 weeks right around Easter that most schools have their spring break. So if you're looking forward to the reopening of Family Kingdom, that is reopening. But everything else is mostly already open. Obviously, since this video is coming out in March, we are filming it in March. And most things are already open at this point that closed for the off season. Most actually reopened in mid-February. And we have had already a huge uptick in the amount of people here. It's been quite busy. And we do get questions, going back to the weather for a minute. The water's not exactly weather, but it's definitely related. We get questions about when does it get warm enough to swim? We talked about that in a recent spring video, but in April for most people, it is not warm enough to swim in the ocean. And yes, of course, you can swim in a heated pool in your resort, so that might be a consideration. If you would like to, swim, look for a resort that has an indoor heated pool for April, because for most people, like I said, there's a few exceptions. There's people who have a better cold tolerance than I do, but most people will not be. I mean, you can see today, it's nice and warm today, but there's nobody swimming in the ocean except the birds and the fish. But yeah, no humans are swimming in the ocean today. Actually, I said that, now I see a tiny child who just ran into the water and back out. So, okay, maybe children can stand it, but it's pretty cold at this time of the year, the water temperature. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps other people find our videos, which in turn helps us, and we really appreciate that. Also, if you want to learn more about Myrtle Beach, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss anything. As far as what else is open, like I said, pretty much everything at this point. And if you missed our video, I will link it in the description below. Popstroke has just opened, so it will be open in April. It is it's really hard to describe. It's really cool. It's a 2-course putt course, but it's not like miniature golf with your windmills and your, theming. This is more for people who are really into golf. They do have one side that's more family friendly and one side that's harder, but this is more of a serious golfer type place. But I would actually go, even though I'm not a serious golfer, just to hang out there because it has really got a great atmosphere. They had like, I want to say 1, 2, 3, I think they had about 5 bars, 4 or 5 bars. All of them served food as well. They had ice cream, they had cooked food, a full menu, which I showed in that video. So again, if you're interested, check that out. So that's pretty cool, exciting thing that's going to be open if you're coming in April. That is at Broadway at the beach here in Myrtle Beach. So all kinds of stuff there to do. As far as hotel rates, April, they're going to be pricey. We've got, and that sort of goes into crowds. So we'll talk about crowds next. In April, the first week of April is going to be incredibly crowded because of spring break. Now, I'm not talking summer crowded. I am talking more crowded than usual, which I know is pretty vague, but it's not going to be like Memorial Day weekend or like 4th of July or like the middle of the summer, but it will be more crowded than typical, like a typical week here in April. And then the rest of April, we'll have moderate crowds. So there will be plenty of people here, but it will not be super packed. Not all schools have their spring break the week before, the week after Easter. So there will be some other spring breakers here in the rest of April. So expect some people, and also the rates I don't think will be low any week in April, but you might get better rates after the first week of April. You'll just have to check with your favorite hotel. So let's talk about events. There's quite a few events in April. We'll start with the Myrtle Beach Food Truck Festival. It is April 5th through 7th. We do have a video of the Food Truck Festival. I will link it in the description below if you're interested to see what it's all about. It is at a different location this year, and I have some interesting stuff to talk about related to that. It is going to be at the old Myrtle Beach Mall site, which it's been a vacant lot for many, many years. So if you're not familiar with where that is, it is 2501 North Kings Highway. There is now a cost of $10 per person for that event. I will give the Brian and Carmen commentary on that. We disapprove. If you've been to that food truck festival, the prices for the food are expensive. And so this is not cheap. Just because it's off a food truck, don't think cheap food. It's not. It costs about as much as if you go to a restaurant. So then to pay $10 per person on top of that, that's just not something that we're a fan of. We used to go when it was free. It was free until last year. And then last year they started charging, I believe it was $5, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, it might have been 10, but I think it was $5 last year. And now this year, $10 per person. Or there is a deal where you can get $25 for the weekend. So if you plan to come every day, all 3 days. But again, that's March 5th through 7th. So what I wanted to talk about that's interesting about the change in the location is it used to be where the old Pavilion amusement park was near the boardwalk. That used to be the empty field, used to be the location. And also in other news, they just announced that that zip line that is there in that location is permanently closing. And if you've been watching our videos about what's new in Myrtle Beach, you can go back to our What's New in Myrtle Beach in 2024 video. I'll link that in the description below. I talked about how the city of Myrtle Beach has been buying up property in that area, and they are planning to do a new development, much like Market Common, with restaurants, entertainment, and living, like condos or some type of townhouses, some type of living situation. And so I find it interesting that both that zip line has closed down and that they are also moving their festivals off of that land. So to me, that indicates they're getting ready to do something. That's just me speculating. That's nothing official, but I thought I'd share that with you because I found it interesting. I also wanted to let you know about the zip line closing down in case that's something you enjoy. If you do want a zip line, they do still have the zip line open at Broadway at the beach. Also going through events, the Pelicans baseball opening day is April 5th. We've been to a Pelicans game. It's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend that. The Art in Common Festival at the Market Common at Valor Park is April 6th and 7th. Again, that's something we enjoy. It's a small art festival, but it's local artists, I should say regional artists. So it's a place you can go and get some real art, not, just a print that you buy at the store. You can get something really nice there. The Myrtle Beach International Film Festival is April 23rd through the 27th at the Market Common. The Dragon Boat Festival, which is really cool, is April 27th at Grand Park at the Market Common. The Shadow Bay Celtic Festival is April 27th in Socastee. If you're not familiar with Socastee, it is just south of Myrtle Beach. It's very close to Surfside Beach. It's just a little inland. And then Brook Green Gardens, which is in Murrells Inlet, is having their art festival April 27th through the 28th. So leave us in the comments and let us know if any of those festivals are interesting to you. We'd like to hear from you if any of those are something that would bring you to the beach, or if you're already here, if you would go to it. I think for us, out of that list, if the food truck festival was still free, we would definitely go to that, because we went and we would buy food at that. Also, I would like to see the Dragon Boat Festival. I think it looks really cool. And we'll definitely go probably to one of those art festivals. Those are pretty neat too. So lots of cool things going on in the month of April. And if you're looking at our surroundings, we are now getting up to the 2nd Avenue Pier, where they've got the Wicked Tuna restaurant. And there is the pier itself. If you'd like to learn more about the Myrtle Beach area, be sure to click on the video that's on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.